following program is rated MAL. It contains strong language and is intended only for mature audiences.
This week on the 5-Minute Warning.
LeBron James has actually reasonably handled this well to me. Like somebody asked him like how Bronny was adjusted, and Bron was like, he's a grown-ass man. Why don't you ask him?
wrong.
And he wasn't wrong, but it's hard to treat somebody like a grown-ass man when we know he only in the league because of who his daddy is.
The show that gives you everything and nothing at all. That's everywhere you don't want to be. It's Ruben, Mo B, and on the ones and twos, AG.
The 5-Minute Warning.
Welcome to a brand new episode of 5-Minute Warning. Once again, it's your man, Ruben, up in the house. And of course, with me, got my man, Mo B in the house. What's going on, Mo B?
What's going on?
Hey, man, life's beautiful. Life's beautiful. Today is such a decent day overall. This weekend has been awesome. The weather has been decent. At least my sports teams have done very well. You know, speaking of which, did y'all win last night?
Yeah, we won.
Word. So y'all only lost one game in the season, right? Two? When's the playoffs start?
2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks.
Word. You going back to the Super Bowl?
We got a chance.
Awesome. Good stuff. Man, yesterday, college football went a little crazy. Georgia went into Texas, embarrassed them. But I don't know if they really embarrassed them. I would probably say that's the first team Texas played all year. So, like real team, because they've been beating up on all the scrubs they've been playing. So, I mean, Georgia went there, did that work. Did you see any of it?
I mean, they do fine against anybody but Alabama.
Speaking of Alabama, they took an L yesterday. So, I mean, are they going to make it to the 12-team playoff?
If they can find a way to get them in, they will make sure they're in.
Do you feel like they're one of the 12 best teams in the country at this moment?
I mean, that's difficult to say. I mean, probably in spurts, but I mean, I don't think they're not gonna have the resume to be one of the top 12 teams, but they'll still get in because they're Alabama.
How much is that Vanderbilt loss gonna hurt them?
It'll hurt them, but it'll still be they beat Georgia.
Okay, so pretty much it's fair to say that they're living on Georgia's coattails right now.
I mean, as long as they don't take another L, they'll be fine.
Okay. Cool.
In fact, they can probably get away with having 3 losses.
Ooh.
They're probably the only team that can get away with having 3 losses.
But does it matter to who that loss goes to? Do they have to be ranked?
At this point in time, they can't lose to just anybody. But yeah.
Okay.
Like they'll let that Vanderbilt one slide.
Georgia's schedule is pretty simple from here on out now. I mean, they play Alabama, they play Texas. I mean, who else they got left to play in the SEC that will cause them a problem?
I mean, that's anybody. The SEC is pretty good. Like okay. I know the SEC haters just be like, there's only 2 or 3 good teams in the SEC, but that just ain't true no more, man.
Okay. Cool.
Like I mean, there are a lot of good teams.
Well, 16 teams, just most of them, hell, at least half of them should be good.
I mean, they still got to play Tennessee. They still got to play Ole Miss.
Ole Miss took that L on Saturday. I think they're pretty much done. I think they got 2 right now. 2 L's. I think they're pretty much, they kind of got to win out and hope for some more chaos, right?
Pretty much, that's really all they can hope for. I mean, I still think at the end of the day, there's going to be 3 SEC schools in the top 12.
Texas,
whether they deserve it or not, it'll be 3 of them.
So Texas, Georgia, and somebody else.
Probably.
Okay. Any other teams out there that, I mean, Michigan, I think they're pretty much done. You know, I believe they lost and they're about to fall at the top 25. So, yeah, I think they're pretty done. Oregon's number 1 now. So they're out there. And then, of course, Miami's 6. So, I mean, we're about halfway through the season. So there's still a lot of football in college to happen. If you watch some NFL today, Washington beat the brakes off of Carolina, aka we did what we were supposed to do. Other than that, there's some good games going on. Some people are happy, some people are not. But I guess that's what's up. The Yankees did that thing on Saturday night. You know, Soto with a 3-run bomb, pretty much to put Cleveland out of their misery. You know, shout out to Cleveland. The Guardians played tough. All those games were tough. But yeah, the Yankees decided, yeah, we're sick of that. So they got an extra couple days rest for the World Series that starts next week. And I mean, sports fans is what it is. I believe right now, WNBA championship's on. So shout out to the New York Liberty. Shout out to the Minnesota Lynx. You know, they doing that thing. Game 5, all the marbles, baby. That play I was looking at before I came here. Yeah, there's a lot of people up in that joint. So shout out to them. Yeah, Deshaun Watson, I mean, done. They think it's an Achilles injury. He's got 230 reasons not to play anymore. You know, I don't know. Yeah. You know, his backup looked good for a little bit. I mean, yeah, Cleveland, man, I can't believe I'm saying this. Ever since they got rid of Baker Mayfield, they've been trash. Except for when Joe Flacco was there for like 8 games. Other than that, they've been trash. So, you kind of did it to yourself. I mean, I don't know. Sorry about your luck. But yeah, I mean, that sucked because you never want to see anybody get hurt. You know, when they bring the card out on you on the field, nobody wants that. But yeah, right now they're saying it's possible Achilles. And I mean, he could come back. But I mean, there are 230 million reasons why I wouldn't. It's not like you've been playing great. You know, you've been kind of playing like trash. So I think taking your money and run might be what it is. It sucks, but it might be what it is. Other than that, it's been a great weekend outside. You know, it's about to get cold out here. You know, Halloween is coming in a week and a half. However, if you go to Walmart, they already got Christmas up in the back where all the grill stuff's supposed to be. I went looking for some grill stuff, and there's a whole bunch of Christmas ornaments and crap. And I was just like, so where'd you put the grill stuff that people didn't know? And I'm just like, why are you going to put all this Christmas stuff up, not change it in your app? And then nobody knows where the hell you put the rest of the stuff at. Like I get it. You're ready. You're ready for holiday season. You're ready to sell it. Yeah. Me, I don't get it. So, because maybe I'm just not that dude. Because I believe that Thanksgiving happens before Christmas. And hey, fat guy as myself, I'm trying to get my eat on. So like, I mean, I get to eat at Christmas too. Don't get it twisted. But Thanksgiving is made for eating. You know, I get it. You know, we want to go back in history and stuff and all that stuff about, well, you know, Thanksgiving is because blah, blah, blah. I mean, let's be real. Columbus didn't mean to hit here. He hit India first. He didn't know where the hell he was going. He was a drunk and all that stuff. We just celebrated Columbus Day last Monday, which was whatever. You call it what it is. I'm not going to jump into that. But yeah, I mean, yeah, you know. Hey, can you teach how to cook stuff and kill you? I mean, that's probably not the move either. But look, let's just enjoy Thanksgiving for what it is. It's time to get together for families and to eat a whole bunch of food. Because when there's an excuse to cook a whole bunch of food, your boy's here for it. Now, Halloween, not so much. You know, I don't need to be scared out of my mind. I don't need any of that crap. I'm just not about it. And you know, I don't like scary movies. I don't like people trying to scare other people thinking they're funny. I just think that, whatever. We talked a little bit about it last week, and it is not my favorite quote-unquote made-up holiday. Just like think Valentine's Day is a made-up holiday. That's right, I said it. It's made up. Because if you don't love your people that you love 365 days of the year, you only love them on one day, what are we doing? It's just the excuse to make it for all the crap that you've done the other 364 days. What are we doing? So, yeah, as you can tell, I'm not really a big holiday guy. I guess I am, but I'm not. It is what it is. But yeah, you know, the election's going on. Oh my God. You know, the thing in Texas is crazy with, you know, Moby's friend and the other black House representative down there. You know, I've seen a lot of videos on it. I saw their debate. You know, Ted Cruz ain't really doing much. Ted Cruz, I don't think has done anything since he's been in office. So it's like, what you doing? It's a whole bunch of mudslinging. I'm not a mudslinging guy. I'd rather you just run on what it is. Like, just run on what you got. Like, you know, I keep seeing all these ads about, you know, such and such, such and such. I could care less what happens with people in jail and what they get and if they decide to become a man or a woman in jail. I don't care. I really don't. Because it doesn't affect me. And seeing all that stuff, and we got literally another 2 weeks of that, 2.5 weeks roughly of that. The only thing I can tell you to do is go out and vote. You know, if you can vote early, because you know in November shit gets cold, man. It gets real cold out here in these streets. And I get it. That's the only day you're off. Well, just make sure you're prepared because it's cold as hell out there. Your boy's voting early. Hopefully this week I can go ahead and get it done because I know the longer I wait, the longer I gotta wait. So hopefully I can get it done this week. For the so-called people out there who are undecided, man, miss me with that. Because you either decided or you're not. And to be honest, as Moby said once, those who are undecided are looking for a reason to vote for who they want to vote for. Because a lot of people are very, very emotionally attached to their vote. Well, it's none of your business who I vote. Look, man, I know who I'm voting for. I'm voting for Kamala Harris. Like, straight up. You know, does that make me a fascist? Of course not. That's stupid. You know, we're not, you know, Nazis and shit out here, as someone would make you believe. And yeah, there's some things I believe in. I believe that we live in a capitalist country. Is that bad? Capitalism's not bad. It just means that everybody's about making money for themselves. I mean, I don't understand why everybody thinks that's the worst shit ever. Because it's not. It's what we do. However, there's some social stuff that goes on too. And that, what they make you that other bad word called a socialist. Ooh, oh my God, you're a socialist. Let me help you out. If you ever take anything from the government, that's socialism. So if you took a couple years ago, or like in the past probably decades, having like 3-4 times, if you took the stimulus check and you cashed that's socialism. Guess what? You took that money. That's a socialist act. Here we go. That's right. No, it's not. Well, guess what? We're all socialists. And we took the money. So it's like, everybody's like, I'm not a socialist. Did you rip up the check? No, I came to my direct deposit. Did you spend it? Yeah, because the government. Exactly. Because the government gave it to you. That's socialism. All right. I love it how people are just like, how the rhetoric is like, you're a communist. Are you kidding me right now? We do not live in a communist country by any means. We do not. Some people might want you to think that, but we don't. Is there freedom here? Yes. Is there freedom in communist countries? Depends what you call freedom. I have this podcast. That's freedom in this country. Could I have this podcast in a communist country? Well, I could, but I'd probably have somebody watching me and everything I said, ready to shut me off and all this other stuff. So, yeah, this isn't a communist country. We don't live in a dictatorship. The president is not a dictator, even though some people want to be the president and want to be a dictator. Yeah, that's not how this works. I just think that everybody can vote for what they want to vote for. My true feelings are, you're not necessarily are who you vote, but you are what you believe. And if your beliefs match up to the person you vote, then there you go. Like, do I think Trump is racist? No. I think Trump is a fairly smart individual who riles up certain bases to get them to vote for him. Because one thing I've seen, there's Republican Party, there's Democratic Party, there are independents, then there's myself. And I believe most of the country is pretty much in the same realm as myself, which is, I believe we live in a capitalist country, country that believes in capitalism, but I also believe our country believes in socialism. So, two things can be true at the same time. I believe that most of the country feels that way. I could be wrong. Wouldn't be the first time, ain't gonna be the last. But I also feel like everybody feels like they gotta make a decision. It's gotta be A, B, C. How about D or E? How about just vote for the person who aligns with your views the most? Now, once again, you are what your views are. For instance, if you don't like white people, if you don't like black people, in some realm forms, you are considered racist. Now, with that being said, if you vote for someone who believes in those values, once again, you kind of are who you are. It missed me with the whole, back in the day, Republicans used to, protect black people. Missed me with that, because there was a shift. And, 200 years ago, Lincoln freed the slaves. so they could go fight for the North. So, like, everybody sees a ... and continues on. Let's just be honest about it. Did Lincoln want to free the slaves? I don't think so. Did Lincoln have a choice? I don't think so. So, we just got to be careful, man. And it doesn't matter what they were years ago. It matters what it is now. And I think when we start living in the past, you're trying to compare right now to the past. I think you're doing yourself a disservice. 100%. I think that you should be living for the now and not living for yesteryear. Which brings me to the famous slogan, "Make America Great Again." And we've seen it numerous times. People ask, when was America great? And I'm still waiting for a good answer for that. Because here's the thing. America was probably good at one point. But it's never been great for everyone. And hell, I don't even think it's been good for anyone as a whole. I really feel like that, if you're a black person, you answer the question, when was America great? I'm not sure what answer you're going to give yourself. If you're a white person, you might have an idea where you felt it was great for you, but was it great for everyone? And that's the problem, right? Like, I will say that statement is hugely flawed, but I think it's flawed on purpose. And you can read between those lines, because once again, I'm not going to sit here and say that that's a racist sentiment, but I will sit here and say that it wouldn't shock me if somebody thought that was racist. Do I think it's racist? No. I think it's words. And, well, they say believe everything you hear, not what they do. Reverse that. Believe what they do, not what you hear. And that is how I feel about what our election is going on, how it'll forever go on. And, the only way you will have a strong... The only way all this goes away is if one of two things happen. Either Trump wins decisively or Harris wins decisively. And when I say decisively, I mean they got 300 votes, 300 electoral college votes. That's decisive. There is no going to court in all these states that you lost. You lost them. Period. We don't need any 272 to 260. We don't need none of that shit. We need to the point where it's heaven and earth for you to switch this. And we shall see. All I can tell you to do is go out there and vote. Tell your friends to vote. Tell your grandma to vote. Tell your mama to vote. As far as the Dems losing the Senate, I'm going to be honest with you. I mean, it's like 51-49. The Dems will probably win the House. Because right now, hell, they're almost majority now because half the House retired. So, when it's all said and done, checks and balances are in place. But it comes down to, even though the president really doesn't have as much power as everybody seems to think they have, it really just comes down to the vice president. Because if the Senate, if it's 50-50, and whoever the vice president is, controls. If it's 51-49, then obviously there you go. But I don't know if they'll lose the Senate. I feel strongly that the House will lose, that the Republicans will lose the House. The Senate's close because you've had some retirement. retired people, and then you don't know, especially in West Virginia, you don't know what he's going to be replaced with. I mean, a Democrat or a Republican or independent. So Mogul Cowboy, I would say that checks and balances are in place regardless of what happens. And I really don't think that it's going to be, I would suspect it'd be a while for any one party have all three positions again. Because even when they have all three positions, they still don't get shit done. So like, I almost would rather not have all three. That way shit will get done. Because more stuff gets done when there's parity and no one controls all of it. Because Trump controlled it for 2 years, he didn't get shit done. Obama controlled it for 4 years. He got some stuff done. Biden controlled it for 2 years. He didn't really get much done. So, you know, it's funny, right? Because in the state of Virginia, the Commonwealth of Virginia, we do better with a Republican governor, financially and just overall workings. Not that we suck with a Democratic governor. However, I will say that Democratic governors spend more money in Virginia, whereas Republican governors save more money in Virginia. So, like, good, bad, and different. Yeah. You don't have a lot of... It is weird because, if I'm correct, we have Democratic governors, they want to cut everything, which I never understood why that is. Whereas Republican governors don't really want to cut stuff. They don't necessarily just really want to do anything extra. So, I mean, it's just weird. Virginia is weird in every state. But in Virginia, we're backwards like that. Like, Youngkin, you know, he's a Republican. I'm just not really sure what he's done since he's been governor. Because I don't think I'm not saying he hasn't done anything. I'm just saying what he has done has not necessarily affected me. So, you know, it is what it is. So enough of that politics crap. You know, we got enough of that for 2 weeks, and then we can stop talking about it for like, I don't know, 2 years before we start all over again. We're gonna do some crazy world today. And I got a couple articles I want to talk about. So the first one, of course, is a woman pleads guilty to trying to smuggle 29 turtles across the Vermont Lake into Canada by kayak. An inflatable kayak. So a woman who's 41, she got arrested in June because she was about to get into an inflatable kayak with a duffel bag when she was in Canada. And she was going to go ahead and, I guess it's not really sailing, floating, kayaking to the United States with another person. And she had 29 live eastern box turtles wrapped in socks in a duffel bag. Now you're saying to me, a duffel bag? Who gives a F? Turtles. Gives a F about turtles. Well, here's the fun part. Apparently, eastern box turtles are known to be sold on the Chinese black market for $1,000 each. So they found these box turtles in Canada, and because you can't, obviously, you can't just bring them across to your car, and you're not gonna fly here because you gotta go through border patrol. So they decided that they're going to kayak them over. So for $29,000, they were going to get an inflatable kayak and kayak these turtles over. I mean, I guess. So, now once again, I think I was wrong here. It was the other way around. she was smuggling them into Canada so they could be sold. Which I don't know why it matters whether you're in Canada or United States. Clearly, there's some border stuff, or maybe that's where the person was. They didn't really say. So, she pleaded guilty to one count of unlawfully attempting to export and send 29 Eastern box turtles out of the United States. Like, I didn't realize that was a law. You know, I guess it was unlawfully attempting to export, and then they just added the 29 box turtles. She did a plea deal and stuff like that, but she's not sentenced yet, and she could be sentenced. She could face 10 years of prison or a fine of $250,000. So for $29,000, you are now possibly gonna have to spend jail time, and on top of that, you may have to pay a fine up to $250,000, and you made no money off this, and you got an inflatable kayak. I don't know where the intelligence went in this plan. An inflatable kayak. You could have got a real kayak. I guess they didn't want to eat into the profit. Or a canoe or something. Yeah, for $2,900, I just don't see where or how that was important. So, once again, you know, you play stupid games, you get stupid prizes. And I guess you got stupid prizes right there. So, another article I want to talk about is, I guess, it says Detroit judge who put teen in handcuffs during a field trip is demoted to speeding tickets. And of course, that's what he does now, apparently, is do speeding tickets. But basically, you know, this judge was temporarily moved from his seat because during a field trip, he ordered a teenager into jail clothes and handcuffs. And so once again, they read it wrong. He is back on the bench, but he only does speeding tickets and minor offenses. But yeah, you know, I guess there's a misunderstanding, and he singled out a 13-year-old girl, 15-year-old girl, and was like, "You're not doing stuff right, blah, blah, blah." She had a bad attitude when she was visiting his courtroom. So he ordered the child into a jail jumpsuit, and they put handcuffs on him, and then live streamed it, because that's what you do these days. If you don't live stream it, shit didn't happen. So first of all, you're probably doing something you shouldn't be doing, and then you're letting the world know that you're doing something you shouldn't be doing, basically saying, I got the power to do this shit, and I'm gonna do this shit. Well, guess what, player? You don't really have the power to do this shit, and you shouldn't have done this shit, and now you got in trouble. And so yeah. Also threatened her in front of her peers with juvenile detention. Oh, you don't want to act right? I'll put you in juvie. Hold on, player. It's a field trip. What we doing? So, yeah. He apologized, but obviously the mom is like, yo, man, I'm suing you for $75,000 for inflicting fear and severe emotional distress. So basically, this dude decided to go into business for himself and do his own scare straight on live stream because she was acting the ass at his courtroom. I mean, I ain't mad at you, dude. However, you do need to know boundaries. This is good. This is not. And live streaming it probably wasn't the move, but hell, if you can go and do it big, just go and do it big. And that's what he did. He went and did it big. And now he's on a bench dealing with people who have speeding tickets and jaywalking and crap like that. My bad, I don't have to do murder cases. I think he's okay. You know, he ain't probably hating life. And I mean, her bad ass probably deserves it anyway. Let's just be real. Kids today, some of the kids don't got no respect for nobody. So, I ain't exactly mad at him, but I'm kind of just like, I see where you're coming from, bro. Scared straight. 2023, 2024, let's go. He live streamed that joint. That's crazy. I kind of want to see if I can find it. I bet she was crying like a little girl. Well, she's a little girl, but I bet she was crying and all that stuff, man. I didn't mean to do it, blah, blah, blah. And I mean, I ain't gonna front. I'm probably gonna laugh at it. Kid got scared straight in front of her friends. And the last article I want to talk about today, it's called Mud, Beer, and Cash. An annual wife carrying championship attracts competitive couples to Maine. So first of all, I would like to say that this shit's crazy. And I'd also like to say this is clear WPS. Because I can't see this happening with black people for real. And I'm just gonna put it out there like that. Hate me, don't hate me. You know, charge to my head, not to my heart. Yeah, I don't see. No, there's probably like one or two there, but I don't see it. So this happened in Maine, you know, a couple weeks ago, and you know, it once again drew dozens of eager competitors to a ski resort on a Saturday. It involves dirt, beer, and cash. So more than 30 couples competed in the North American Wife Carrying Championship. Yes, I said that. The North American Wife Carrying Championship. 278 yards, which is, in America, 254 meters. Race, which contestants splash through water, leap over logs, and trudge through mud, all while carrying their partner like a sack of potatoes. So yes, some of you who are listening can see the problem in this. Somebody's getting picked up. Somebody's getting carried. Oh, but it gets better. Now there's this origin story that I'm not going to get into because it's stupid. And I'll just say it like that. So traditionally, this event featured male competitors carrying women. That's why it's a North American Wife Championship. And the males carried their wives and blah, blah, blah. But now, they've changed it. So the couples don't have to be married, and nor do they have to be a man and woman. So, basically, it's open for everybody. Cool. No issues here. I don't care. Hey, because if you're going to do this, why am I going to get mad at the social issues? I don't give two rats because you know who ain't doing it? This guy. I ain't doing it. So, I get it. So, for instance, one contestant, the carrier, was dressed as Mr. Incredible, while his wife, which they have in quotes, was dressed entirely in pink. Yeah, okay. So they did this at the ski resort, and which was, you already know what it's about. It's a grassy hillside. Some people stumbled. Some female partners jumped off before they regrouped and kept going. F this, I ain't about this shit. I changed my mind. You ain't carrying me like a sack of potatoes. So most of them, they said most of the participants use a technique in which the quote-unquote wife is carried like a backpack upside down. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, the person who's being carried, their head is in their butt region. We'll just leave it like that. I know this is TVMA, but basically the person could be in somebody's ass. Or if you turn that person around, there you go. Y'all are intelligent. We don't have to go any deeper in that. So, upside down, because the insurers that run his arms are free for the greatest agility. They wear smiles and grimaces, and everybody is up wet and muddy, especially if you have to trudge through mud and water and shit. Like, whose ever face is in the booty region? Yeah, that's not cool. That's just not cool. And I'm gonna leave it at that. However, what do they win? I will tell you. So they win the person who played the wife. They win the wife's weight.
What's going on?
Hey, did you just join in, or do I need to catch you up?
Yeah, I'm just popping back in.
Okay, so I'm talking about the annual North American Wife Carrying Championship. That's right, your face said it all. And basically, what it is, husband and wife, or this year, it doesn't matter. They're couples, whether they're together or not. It was about 30 of them, 278 yards at a ski resort. And the contestants splashed through water, leap over logs, and trudged through mud, all while carrying the wife person like a sack of potatoes. And now they carried the wife on their back, carried like a backpack, upside down. So that person who's being carried, their face literally is in somebody's ass the whole time. And I was just saying that, hey, they gotta walk through mud. Yeah, somebody's ass basically getting covered in mud.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, it's WPS.
Nah. See, that wasn't even the question. I already knew that it was some white people shit. There's not an ounce of color that I expected to be here, man. Like,
happened in Maine too.
That's exactly what I was about to ask. Like, what white place did this happen in? Because that can't happen nowhere else. And look, I don't want to be judgmental and tell people what they value is stupid. But this is stupid. I mean, look, I get it. Maybe it's all good, clean fun, as they say, but this is stupid. Like,
well,
the fact that this is a thing is just, it's stupid.
There's actually history behind it, but it's too stupid to go over. I just refuse to go over it.
I mean, look, if it's historically something that makes it make sense, then it's still stupid.
I mean, no, it's stupid. It's not. That's not what we're talking about.
I mean, how many people gather for this annual event?
So apparently there are a lot of people, like in this picture, there's a lot of people there, but there were 30 couples, more than 30 couples who participated. And couples meaning groups of two people.
I mean, look, I guess it's no worse than like all these other couples things that happen on like reality TV or something, but it's still stupid.
Well, and that's why I was saying, like, the couples, the whole couples thing, yeah, I guess in the past it used to be man and women, but now they didn't have to be married, nor they have to be a man and woman. So it could be two women, two men.
They're trying to be more inclusive, I guess.
Exactly.
And here's what I'm gonna say about that. That's stupid. Like, look, everything ain't gotta be inclusive. Like, if somebody's gonna be offended that they can't be a part of this annual couple thing, man, fuck them. Like, I'm just saying, like, look, I'm all for inclusion, but like, exclusion is not always negative. Like,
no.
I shouldn't have to include you in something just to make you feel better about it. Mm-hmm. Like, now here's the thing. Like, I know churches have got quote unquote shamed because they don't want to do same-sex marriages and stuff, and I'm just like, yo, whatever, man. If you don't want to do that, you shouldn't have to include that. My thing is, I just think people who are same sex, they should have all the marital rights as a couple. But I feel like a church should be able to say, nah, we're not doing that. And everybody should be okay. That's not non-inclusive. That's exclusion by choice. That's an okay thing. Everybody shouldn't have to agree with you to make it happen, or to make you feel better about it. Like, we're not included. So what? You know, back in the day, had the members only coats, man. Sometimes, man, it's members only, and that's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be offensive to everybody if me as a black guy tried to sue the Ku Klux Klan because they didn't want to admit me in it. They're not being inclusive, man.
I mean, Clayton Bixby, though.
I mean, see, that's a skit. I'm just saying, wouldn't it be like if I, dark-skinned brother on the show,
You're stupid.
decided, hey, I want to be a member of Ku Klux Klan, and they won't let me in, so I'm gonna sue them because they're not being inclusive. First of all, that would be hilarious. Second of all, it'd also be stupid.
I hope you burn in hell.
Because as any other group, they should have the right to say, nah, bruh, you can't be a part of our club. That's not a public thing. It's not like they're saying, nah, you can't eat in this restaurant. Oh, that's a problem. That's a public place. That's a service. But if they're just like, you can't be part of our club, I mean, okay.
And Brent says, how do you draw the line? I'm just like, I don't understand. How do you draw the line? It's what it is. Like, back in the day, you know, kids had, especially boys had little clubs and they didn't invite girls. I mean, are they necessarily wrong for that? Nah. Because girls had cooties and they ain't want none of that shit. So that's why they didn't invite them in.
I mean, I think how do you draw the line on it is places of service or like customer base, things of that nature, you should be able to draw the line on. But
government stuff.
Yeah, but like, everybody can't. A fraternity has a right to turn you down.
Yeah.
A sorority has the right to turn you down.
You can't sue them because they ain't let your sorry ass in.
Now, a restaurant, different. Different.
Well, they gotta have that up front. We have the refuse right to serve. And I mean, like, if they do that and they have it up there, like, all right, well.
By legality, they can't refuse to serve you because of the color of your skin. That's discriminatory.
No, but they can refuse to serve you because you look like a jack-o'-lantern. And if you look like a jack-o'-lantern, then I mean, I guess.
I mean, I get where people say, where do you draw the line? That's a fair question. But where do you draw the line on the flip side of it? Like because the idea of saying you have to include same-sex couples in this annual couples event that means nothing. Well, I shouldn't say it doesn't mean anything because it might mean something to the people in it. But it's like, yo, what if this is a traditional man and wife competition. Like, we don't want to say same sex. Why is that an issue?
I mean, I don't see the issue. But I mean, I think, the whole draw the line thing, I want to piggyback on that, saying, hey man, like, if somebody doesn't want to let you in on something, why do you feel it's so important that you get in? That would be my question.
I think like the only thing I can think about is like PGA, like the PGA Tour. Mm-hmm. There were a lot of clubs that just didn't allow blacks in.
Correct.
Like when I was in Savannah, there was a golf club, and this is early 90s. Mm-hmm. Didn't allow black people to join. Now, nobody sued them, but the PGA basically said, well, we ain't gonna come and do no tournament there.
Well, and I think
then the basically the club was like, yeah, we need to get some black members then because we want that money.
But I think a lot of that changed because of Tiger.
No, absolutely. But it didn't change just because of Tiger. It changed when the PGA basically was like, well, we no longer going to go to clubs that discriminate against people.
Well, yeah, but they had to take that stand, even though they've been
because this is early
that for years.
I'm about to say this is early '90s. This is before Tiger Woods.
Yeah, but they've been living with that shit for years, and they just chose to accept it.
Once
However,
again, when the PGA Tour basically was like, hey, our sponsors don't necessarily like the fact that we're going to places that exclude people. We're going to start, and if the sponsors start getting loud, that's costing us money. So, hey, we're not going to go to no place where it's not inclusive.
And honestly, that's really the only reason why they
absolutely
changed, because it was money. It was a money thing at that point. And I get that. And like, but the
same with almost all other sports. They only let black people in because of the money.
Yeah, but once again, it's just like, I get it. Like, there is the fundamental mystique and stuff of doing that, but in the grand scheme of things, why would you want to be somewhere where they don't want you?
Well, if you go by that argument, Ruben, black people wouldn't be damn near anywhere in America.
I understand that.
I understand that. If you go by that logic, like
I'm not saying the logic's right. I'm just saying that's another side to look at it. And I'm not saying it's the right way. I'm just saying it's just another side. Because like,
yeah, I mean, the flip side, people talk about like HBCUs. We talk about them. Some people talk about them glowingly for what they are, and then people always talk about sports stuff. Hey, they ain't got no good talent, blah blah blah. Well, part of that is because the talent went to the white schools. Mm-hmm. And so some people are like, well, why should you want to go to a school that didn't historically want you? Because most of those people are like, yeah, but I want what that school can give me.
Mm-hmm. I get you. Yeah, I mean, and like, so Brett, we do play hockey, but the reason why we ain't never really kicking hockey, because the shit's cold. So like, I mean, there are some of us who play hockey, and there's some of us who play in the NHL, and they're really, really good. I mean, but I also feel like
it ain't enough. It ain't enough doing it, and we don't have one that is head and shoulders above the rest.
No,
if there was an NHL equivalent of like, if there was a black Wayne Gretzky, trust me, it would heat up a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, PK Subban's probably one of the better ones.
Yeah.
And then the more known.
How about say, like you asked me to name another one, I can't.
There's a couple. I mean,
well, once again, I'm simply saying I can't. Now, I'm not even a casual hockey fan. Like I don't like it. It doesn't do anything for me. But yeah, I mean, most casuals can't even name.
But even going there, man, it's fucking cold. Like, no, like there's nothing. Watching it at home on TV is the best for me. Because if not, I gotta go like triple layer it up, bro. And I ain't got time for all that. That's just me though. I think it's too cold. Because the ice has got to be a certain temperature, which means the whole fucking place got to be cold. And plus, when they do the shit outside, it's cold as shit out there. Like, don't get it twisted. It looks fun on TV. I can ice skate, and I'm black, and that's great. But like, no, there's no one. I mean, I can get on skates and I can do enough so I don't fall on my ass and fall on my face. And
honestly, we can't ruin. We shouldn't be allowed to ruin their sport. No. And here's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that like black people ruin things. I'm saying if we were in that sport in a large abundance, like let's just say 25% of the league became black. Mm-hmm. All the rules would have to change. Because you know how uncomfortable people would be with hockey fights if it was more pictures of black dudes like whooping some white dude ass on the ice, or even vice versa. If it would just, it just be interracial people fighting and people being upset that black and white, like, yo, you know how many rules they'd have to change?
Yeah, but the thing about hockey is, when you play it, there's a code, and as long as you that code would change if 25% of the league was black. And I'm not
the code would change.
I'm not disagreeing with you on that. Oh, motherfucker. So, like, all I'm saying is, like, yeah, I think that I ain't never playing it. I played street hockey before. I was on rollerblades before. I'm on ice skates before. I did that shit. If I need to impress a girl, cool. Just for shits and giggles, hell no, it ain't worth it. It ain't.
Oh man, don't let somebody in hockey like be really good at fighting and be black too.
Yeah,
and just be out here whooping his ass. Like, look, bro, these rules will change so quick.
And then the Blackhawks, man, those are Native Americans. Just because it got black in the name, that does not mean. I'm
simply surprised that they've still been allowed to keep that name in this current environment. Like that. Well, that shows you that not enough people really watch hockey because if that was any other sport.
But here's the thing. I think the reason why that is because you have the Chiefs and stuff like that, but they're closer to the Native Americans in the Native American land than we are. It is 100% some Southern shit. Because
hold on. Chiefs? Because Chiefs have been allowed to get away with that by eliminating all of the Native American depictions of chiefs. So just the name chief is not derogatory towards any tribe, which is the reason they can keep their name. But
except that stupid ass tomahawk chop.
Hold on. I was about to say the tomahawk chop is something that they don't encourage anymore. They don't have it on the jumbotron for everybody to do that. The fans do that on their own, hence why they can't stop it. But they don't play that. Same what they did at the Braves game. They do that at the Braves game. They put the axe up on the screen.
Yep.
And now they don't do that. So if the people do it on their own, nothing you can do about it.
Yeah. And I mean, then, of course,
the reason they can keep that name Chiefs is because there's no, other depiction of it. Like, that's why the Cleveland Indians are now the Guardians, because it's like, hey, can't be Indians. That's why Florida State keeps getting so much heat about the Seminoles tribes. Like,
however, but from what I understand, they have an agreement with the Seminole tribe.
Yes,
so they
do.
can do that, even though the tomahawk chop is still derogatory as hell. Apparently, they allow them to do that, and they still have the Indian come with the fire and spear and puts it in the field on horseback and all that.
I don't understand how they get away with that.
Well, the Seminole tribe is cool with it because they feel that makes them look strong. I mean, now they probably suck. They probably hate the fact that Florida State's 1-6 right now, so they ain't making them look too damn strong. Making them look like a bunch of punk ass bitches. But yeah, they allow them to do that because that's the agreement that they have with the Seminole tribe in Florida. So it's like, hey man, you do what you do, you get what you get. But I mean, that really hit hard around here and all that. And yeah, I mean, yeah, it's whatever. And a lot of other teams change their shit too because of it, that a lot of people don't really talk about.
Well, I still feel like the only reason the Indians changed their name was because that T-shirt Bomani Jones wore that had Caucasians up there. He came on live TV wearing a shirt with a white guy, like a baseball team, saying it just said Caucasians. He was like, hey, I mean, we got a whole team Cleveland Indians, so Caucasians.
I'm pretty sure that helped. But back to the winner, the winning couple. So the champion leaves with the weight of the wife, whoever's playing that position, in beer, and 5 times that wife's weight in cash. So how they estimate how much they win is the the wife is put on one side of a seesaw-like scale, and then the organizer balance out the other side with cases of beer. So when it equals out, that's how much beer you get. And then I guess they take that, do the mathematical forms, and that's how much money, times 5, and that's how much money you get. So, like, yeah. Like, they even interviewed somebody. I was like, yeah, you know, from New York. There's a really low chance of us winning, but everybody cheers everybody. It's a blast. You know, but what they didn't talk about is how do you deal with, you know, your face and your husband's ass getting drugged through the mud and you gotta breathe mud. They didn't have that discussion, which they probably just left out because.
I mean, what's there to discuss? That's
all that sounds nasty.
That's what happened. Like,
yeah.
Nothing else to discuss.
So yeah, I mean, we're just doing some crazy world shit because the fact that shit exists is crazy, and
I prefer the word stupid.
I mean,
it's just
hey, whatever entertains people, man.
I know that's usually your word to simplify something, but no. This shit all seems stupid to me. I'm not judging. I am. It's stupid.
I hear that. What's on your mind, Moby?
Not that dumbass shit. I mean, nah, man. I do want to address this a little bit longer, though, man. Like, how long has this event been going on?
Let's see. It doesn't say how long it's been going on. It does say that it's based on a 19th century Finnish legend involving a man whose gang was known to pillage villages and carry away the women.
Wait a minute. So this event was based off of motherfuckers kidnapping women? And we just are carrying the tradition? See,
I said it was stupid, man. I said it was stupid.
No, because that just took it over the top, stupid. So so in this modern day and age, and you want to get inclusive on this, like, hey, we're gonna be inclusive on this kidnapping and pillaging women away shit. So now we're gonna say, hey, look, if you want to take the young boys away, that's cool. If you want to take the guys away, cool. If it's a lady that wants to take another lady away, cool. We all here to celebrate the art of kidnapping. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're all here for. Yeah. We all here for it. We all here for it.
That's why it's done in Maine, sir. Not in Virginia.
But first of all, it don't matter where it's done. At this point in time, based on the fact that you just gave me the history, it don't matter where it's done.
I said it was stupid, man. I didn't want to get into it.
The only place where this could partially make sense would be Florida, and that's just because it wouldn't be so surprising.
They don't have the terrain in Florida, unfortunately.
Yeah, I get it. You know, you dragging through the Everglades or whatnot, you know.
Now people would die there because they would get...
Or a python would kill them, you know.
Something like that.
Since motherfuckers just thought it'd be cool to bring some pythons over there and fuck up the ecosystem. But shit, man, nothing's on my mind, man. Because after that dumbass shit, like, bro, like... Who fucking thinks of these things, man? We need to think of some cool shit to make an event out of, and then we need to lie about it. We need to lie and act like it's been going on for like 50, 60 years. We should just do something for the first year and call it like the 55th annual. You know what I'm saying? Just because we was told wasn't nobody going to fact check. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. So, yeah. Kudos, man, because that's some dumbass shit. You usually don't find like stuff that entertains me that much, but that's stupid. Oh, it looks like women can wear helmets. Okay, awesome. Still stupid.
Yeah, she does have. They do have helmets on. Well, no, he has a cap on. I started off by saying this is some WPS, man.
I mean, you could literally take that picture of them running out and substitute it with like almost any evil thing that white people have done in large groups. Like, you could put a nigga hanging from a tree there. It would all look accurate. Like, it would just all look like it belonged.
I mean, she is holding on to his waist for dear life. And literally, if he farted, she would take all of it in the face, without question.
The fart is the only thing you worried about. I'm just like, that just looks like it'd be dangerous if he dropped the period. What if he tripped up?
I mean,
that's like a reverse tombstone right there. Like Stone Cold broke his neck that way. You know what I'm saying? Like
that is called a vertebreaker.
Once again, it looked like Stone Cold break his neck all over again.
But hey, man, that's once again. I just find the crazy shit. I don't do it. So
nah, man, that was distracting, man. Cause yeah. I mean, come on, man. But that made me forget what actually was on my mind. That's
hey, you brought it back up, man.
Yeah, man, because it really made me forget what was actually on my mind, man.
Hilarious.
But yeah, so I guess I get to what was really on my mind. So, hey, man, can we just cancel the NBA until like February? Nah, man, I'm just not mentally prepared to like care about basketball, man. I know some people. If you're a huge NBA fan, maybe you feel like, oh man, it's so good that it's back. But if you're just like a sports fan or a basketball fan in general, like with the nauseum of conversation surrounding WNBA, like I have not even thought about NBA. Like I don't miss it. I don't ever miss it until like March when it's already going in full swing. But like I don't want to see LeBron James and Bronny on TV every goddamn night talking about, oh, how did Bronny James do this time? Was he getting interviewed? Like LeBron James has actually reasonably handled this well to me. Like somebody asked him like how Bronny was adjusted, and Bron was like, he's a grown-ass man. Why don't you ask him?
wrong.
And you know, he wasn't wrong, but it's hard to treat somebody like a grown-ass man when we know he only in the league because of who his daddy is. Like, I mean, it's hard to then man him as you've sunned him into the league. And I'm not saying Bronny James isn't talented. I'm not saying, but I'm just saying if his name was Corey Webster, this nigga wouldn't be in the league. You know what I'm saying? Like, if there's a Corey Webster out there, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. I just randomly threw a name out there. But if his name was like Corey Webster, he wouldn't be in the league right now. Like, there's no shade, but like it just is what it is, man. I don't want to hear about Embiid getting hurt again and seeing the Celtics, do Celtics things. Like I'm just not ready for it, man. I'm not ready for it. I'm not ready now. I am kind of ready to see Edwards fucking the Ant-Man because like he's just fucking entertaining. And I like seeing him get interviewed because like if there was ever somebody who just signified Georgia, I don't give a fuck when he's getting interviewed, it's that guy.
Georgia, I don't give a.
Yeah, I mean, look, he's actually matured recently, but like before, man, it was like a whole bunch of I don't give a fuck. Like when he was talking shit to Kevin Durant in the playoffs last year, I'm just like, yeah, that nigga don't give two fucks. Oh, that's right. Corey Webster did play for the Giants.
Hilarious. See, like, yeah,
I don't even know if that's true, but I'm like, it sounds right. It sounds right.
Who cares? It's the fucking Giants.
Ooh, don't do that. Don't do that to them, man.
What do you mean? They benched what you call him today, man?
Who?
They benched
Daniel Jones?
Yeah, and they put in Drew Lock.
They were trying to protect him.
What? From getting his ass beat? He was getting his ass beat.
He was getting killed. No, not from losing the game, from losing his life, bro. He had been sacked like what, 7 times?
Yep.
Yeah, man. So I'm just not ready for the NBA. Nothing about the NBA season starting this week excites me. Holla at me after the All-Star break. Like that's just where I'm at with it. Like just holla at me after Black Thanksgiving, which is the NBA All-Star game.
Was that what's called? What the fuck? Why we gotta wait all the way to February for fucking Thanksgiving, man?
I'm just saying it's during African American History Month. You know, like it's Black Thanksgiving.
Nah, man. I like original Thanksgiving. Thank you. I'm good.
Sure, let's celebrate the destruction of a whole people. Like at least my Thanksgiving is happier. We celebrating black niggas being rich. Now, because they weren't always rich, but they weren't always.
Why
rich.
would he be celebrating that? I ain't rich.
I'm just saying, but look, I'm happy these brothers doing it, man. Like, I'm happy for them. And the white international people, because let's not pretend that a large majority of the league ain't international now.
Hey, Dalton Connect, this white dude plays for the Lakers. He balled out the other day.
I'm not saying there ain't a few of them.
All right, just making sure.
There's a few white local homegrown heroes out there on NBA rosters. Most of them play for the Utah Jazz or Boston on their bench. They used to always count on them. Or Phoenix used to always have some white guys on Phoenix. And Denver used to always be home for the friendly white guys. When Seattle had a team, Detlef Schrempf. Boy, you know how many people balling out with Detlef Schrempf?
Detlef Schrempf. Oh, Jesus. You're so dumb. That's on your mind, man.
Dallas Mavericks, I mean, they held strong to the white guys for a long time. And now they just went overseas to find their white guys. That's all. The NBA just said, hey, we still need a healthy assortment of white guys. But these homegrown ones ain't doing it no more. So we got to go overseas and get some of these white guys. Something to get the people going. So give the white people hope.
Something to get the people going.
I mean, look, man.
This guy's out here old school.
I'm just saying, like, look, as a not very athletic black guy.
Oh, shut up.
I can understand white people being so hype about Jokic, because it's like, this nigga can't jump, he can't run all that fast, he out there balling on these niggas. Like, I can understand why the white dudes would get behind that cause. The only thing is, he don't necessarily want to be behind y'all, because like, he ain't ever doing no interviews. He be going back over to his country after the season over. He's like, no, I ain't trying to associate with you local white people.
I mean, Jokic does what Jokic does, man. Which it is what it is, Awesome. Well, thank you, sir. I'm glad to know what's on your mind.
Time chambers. Yeah, we need a time. The white people need a time chambers, man. They need.
No, they don't.
They need a white guy that can get a couple dunks and just make them feel good about things. Like,
well, Dalton Connect's gonna help him out with that. Cause Dalton can dunk. He can bang it.
Man, look, he's a Laker, and I get that you're gonna try to exalt him a little higher than he deserves, but like he ain't that. He ain't that.
Well, did you, man? Whatever. I'm not even talking about what he did in the NBA, because he ain't done shit yet. But in college at Tennessee last year, that dude was balling out.
Look, man,
every game.
There have been a lot of great white hopes in college that didn't. Hey, man, Jimmy Fredette. Hey, man, he was out here getting it.
That dude was 5'0".
Adam Morissette. Hey, remember, he was supposed to be the future.
Hey, Adam Morissette got two rings. Fun fact with the Lakers. That's all I'm saying.
I'm just saying he got the rings, but did you see him in the game? People in the janitor staff get rings. Like, so I'm just saying, like, like, you could have a ring if you work for the Lakers.
I mean, Mark Madsen got a couple rings too. He's a horrible ass dancer.
I mean, he at least was in the game.
Leitner does not have any rings in the NBA, sir.
Nah, but what he's saying is the league was a better place when the white people had a Christian Leitner, somebody they could get behind and really get them going, man.
You so stupid.
Like when Christian Laettner was going through the NCAA tournament, yeah, a lot of us pigmented people hated that man. But like the white people, like, yo, you have never seen so many excited white people to see one team win, man. Coach K basically said, you know what? I'm gonna garner all this fan support by getting all the best white basketball players I can get, and I'm gonna sprinkle in just enough minorities to make sure we can compete athletically.
Grant Hill.
Yeah, I'm sprinkling just enough. You know, there's a Shane Battier here. You know, I'll put some color sprinkling in there.
Man, here's the thing. Back in the day, you actually had to qualify to get the Duke through all the other stuff. These days, probably not. But back then, you had to be able to get Duke as a student before you could play basketball. And all those dudes, like you said, those one or two minorities, they could get into Duke without the basketball thing. Now, whether they took them or not is one thing, but at least they had the grades and shit to get in. Whereas nowadays, who knows what happens? So,
now, I would love to ride with you on that. Do you know what Bobby Hurley's high school GPA was?
I mean, I don't.
2.2. So you mean to tell me he met the Duke standards?
I mean, maybe his SAT.
No, I'm just bullshitting. I ain't know if that was true. I just want to see how you would fold on it real quick.
I won't fold because back then the SATs meant shit. Hell, that meant shit than your GPA, more shit than your GPA. And these days the SAT is a joke, from what I understand. And I hear they don't mean shit no more. But
well, I mean, because it never should have meant that much to begin with. It's a standardized test garnered towards one group of people.
Yep. But that's a conversation for another day. And we might have already had that conversation, but we can have it again. I love talking about how shitty the educational system is.
Nah, I don't blame it on the educational system.
I do.
It's the parents, man.
I mean, they don't help.
No, man. The parents are the disease. The school system, the education thing is the symptom.
I think it's backwards. Because here's the thing. Well, and this is why I'm gonna say this, man. I'm gonna say it backwards, and we're gonna exit this because it's a much longer conversation. But I feel like anyone who wants to go to school and learn will learn. However, most of it is done by what the person wants. Now, don't get it twisted. You could have two parents. You have one parent, and that parent could be on your ass about school and school and school. But when it comes down to it, if you don't want to fucking learn nothing, you ain't gonna learn nothing. That's simple. And you know, all the people who go through school and you know they want to learn something in school, they do that, and everything shows. Because I'll be very honest with you. There's a time that I decided I didn't want to learn nothing else. And it showed. And not because my parents went on my ass about it. Because I did my homework shit, but I just chose, you know what? Just learning shit, man. Fuck it. I'll learn just enough. And then that's it. Fuck it all. And, you know, that's what it is. And that's all I'm saying. Like, those who truly want to succeed will succeed. And those who don't want to succeed will not succeed. And
but you're totally eliminating the early parts of people's lives. Because, like, you don't make, at the age of 6, you're not making a choice that you want to do well in school.
Well,
that comes from, like, how you're brought up and what you're brought to do. And the problem is, you got so many parents that ain't trying to have their kids start with a foundation of learning. So then by the time it's like 11, 12, when you are at the age where you can decide, hey, I don't want to do shit, they don't have a foundation of wanting to do shit. And then we're just asking the teachers and the educational system to save them. The educational system and the teachers and all that, they're a symptom of the problem. They're a symptom of the problem.
But here's the thing. I agree with you, and I believe that multiple things could be true at the same time. And
Yeah, but I think that the bigger disease is how we view the educational system as far as their responsibilities. Because back in the day, they used to always be like, well, learning starts at home. And now
Yes.
I feel like kids basically just sent to school, and it's like, it's your job to teach them. And it's like, it can't work that way if they don't have a foundation at home.
But I would say that the difference in that is the way they learn at school. Because are they really learning anything at school?
Once again,
They're memorizing things.
That's the symptom, though, because now they have to do things a certain way. Like, look, man, me and you are both.
I think it's chicken or egg.
No, it can't be, because me and you are both products of public education systems in cities that don't necessarily have the best and most glowing reputation for their educational prowess.
Mm-hmm.
And then you made the statement that you decided one day you just didn't want to. It wasn't because your parents weren't on your ass, but you had a foundation of people showing you and telling you that this is important to do. Now, you chose at one point in time not to.
Yeah.
But if you never had that foundation, like, look, the only difference between me and some of the people I went to school with was I came from a house full of educators who was like, hey, one thing you're not allowed to be is stupid.
Yes.
So that was the only difference between me and the other people. We were in the same fucking classrooms, the same fucking teachers. So the only difference was I had home to basically instill these things in me.
But I also feel like
if you left me up to my own devices when I was 6 and 7, man, I still think 2 + 2 was blue.
But I also feel like there are some children, and maybe it's on the lower end, as far as number wise, that want to do well for themselves because they see what they currently have and they see what they could have, and they're like,
but that's a smaller minority than the foundational piece. The foundational piece is the foundational piece. Like you just have to know that that's important. But we have a lot of kids out there who get sent to school and the parents are like, you go learn. And when they get home, the parents are like, school didn't teach you that? The school's supposed to teach you that. Well, the school needs to do this. Well, bitch, when do you do something?
Well, then my question would then turn around and be, what did you learn in school? Because it could very well be possible that they didn't learn anything in school. And so they believe in the school aspect and they don't necessarily understand it because, once again, instead of trying to not repeat what happened to them, they are repeating what happened to them because that's all they know.
I think that's a smaller number too. I think the generation, as each generation goes, each generation takes less and less responsibility for their kids.
I agree with that because a lot of parents are younger.
That's the disease. Yeah. The disease is the parents. The symptom is the education system.
Yeah, but I guess
I'm not saying the education system doesn't do its fair share of things to continue the problem going.
Yeah, they do.
But I'm saying no matter what the educational system does, it can't fix your foundation. It can't.
Which is weird, right? Because like I feel confident in making a statement that when you're a child between the ages of 2 and 5, a lot of parents, regardless of their age, they on purpose send their kids to like preschool, whether it be for half a day or they put them in some sort of daycare or whatever. But I think I do agree with you but I do feel like at that age, most parents take time with their kids. It's when they get older when they stop doing that. I mean, but I don't know. I mean,
I'm gonna say no. Parents spend less time at that age because now we have things like tablets, phones, basically electronic babysitters. So from an early age, kids are just looking at a screen.
And I guess that all breaks to head when you're in a public place and some kid says whatever they want to say to their parent, and their parent just looks at them and don't do shit. Because all I remember is, man, I wouldn't be here if I said that shit to my mama. You know what I'm saying? Because once again, what did Chris Rock say? When they call your grandmama mom and your mama Pam, we got a problem. And a lot of parents want to be friends. And look, I ain't got no kids, as far as I know. So, like, can I say anything on it? Yes, no, indifferent. All I know is, when I used to work with kids, it was, hey, everybody knows who the alpha is in this bitch. And that's not the one you want to mess with. Period. Other than that, we cool. I was Batman. The people who don't do nothing ain't afraid of me. But when you do something wrong, you ain't trying to see me. And that's just what it was. Now, if where they come from, if it's not that, then yeah, the household shit's kind of messed up. Because never in life,
parents now are. Everybody is so concerned with mental health. So I'm gonna put this in mental health terms. Like the youth now is parenting their kids according to their own trauma. So if you feel like, oh man, my parent yelled at me a lot, or oh man, I got spankings a lot, now you're trying to be anti that. And it's like, yo, like, recover from your own trauma, because all trauma ain't negative. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what? If I put my hand on a stove, it burns. So now when I see a hot stove, I'm traumatized, but in a good way. I know not to put my hand in there. That's. I mean, look, I get it. Some people truly have like abusive trauma that they're recovering from. Cool. But we can't make every negative experience traumatic when some negative experience is how you've survived. Like, certain things were taught as lessons.
Yeah. I mean, it's one thing to get, molested, but it's another thing to get beaten because you said some shit out your mouth you should have said.
Yeah, I mean, look, if
that's two different things.
If you had a spanking because your ass was out of line for something, cool. That's different than, hey, my dad broke my jaw because he was mad at me.
Yeah,
those are two different statements. Like,
those are two different experiences. Yeah, like, I mean, yo, man, I'll never forget when I heard the thing about some parent emancipating from their parents. I was like, emancipate who? Do what? Man, I ain't divorcing my parents. Where the fuck am I gonna live at? I ain't got time for that bullshit. And once again, that's that. I mean, look, that's that rich people WPS shit.
When I heard about a kid emancipating themselves from the parents, I just thought, good for the parents. good for the fucking parents.
That means they ain't gonna put up with your shit.
Yeah, I hope he or she never has to come back and ask for money. Because I'm like, bitch, we ain't your parent no more. Nah, we ain't doing shit.
Yeah, emancipation was like crazy. Like, I can't believe that shit even happened. Like, yeah, I'm divorcing my parents. What?
In fact, if you said, hey, I'm emancipated from you, I'd be like, cool, I want that parental alimony, because for the last 10 years, I've been paying for shit. So like, I want to recoup some of my losses.
and it's funny, right? They went to court for it, because you best believe, I wish I would have gave my reason to, well, I'm just gonna leave. They'd probably been like, would you like a bag? You can use a suitcase.
Man, don't get me wrong. We're making light of this because there have been some cases where kids emancipate themselves from like some really fucked up situations.
And that's different.
But the idea of emancipation, we're joking on it because we're just like, yeah, man. Because like, if I'd have told my mom, hey, I don't want you to be my parent no more, one of two things would have happened. One, she might have just been like, why would you say that? I'm always gonna be a parent. That's what in my head I want to believe would happen. But
your mom wouldn't have said that shit.
I truly believe what would have happened is, cool,
Get the fuck out of my house.
Yeah, take everything that you own, which is nothing, and get out.
Which is nothing. That's exactly what your mom would have said. That's exactly.
She's like, the only thing you're allowed to keep is your name, and that's because that was your dad's.
And I'll let you keep your clothes on your back because I don't want you going out there.
Nah.
Oh, damn. She can see you out naked, bro. That's cold.
She's like, you better find something. You better go ask a friend. You better go ask your new parents for some clothes.
That's cold. She can see you out in the cold world. Cold. That's cold-blooded, man. That's cold-blooded. And I guess that's the difference between us and them. Because... Yeah,
man, we were talking about the education system. Actually, this originally started from a rant about me not being ready for the NBA. So, yeah, I'm still
Thank God. Thank you for that. Well, I don't have anything on my mind because we talked about what I call while you were exited out. We talked about what I had to say. So, politics. I went over my politics. And how much I cared about nothing. So, but yeah. Hey, look. Appreciate y'all listening to this episode of 5 Minute Warning. Once again, join us every Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. On time. Check us out on my Facebook. Check us out on YouTube, which is the best place. And check us out on Twitch. We do this every Sunday from 9 to whatever you get off. I was about to say some other words, but that's not part of it. And I'd like to thank Mo B for being here. AG is on assignment. He will be back next week. So we'll be excited for having him back. And thank you for listening today, whether you listen on a podcast or listen to us live. Once again, 248. 2 more weeks, we'll be at 250, bro. 250. Wow. Might have a party. Probably not. But I was thinking about it. So, we're almost there. Thank you for joining us. Make sure you're there with us. As always, tell an enemy, tell a friend, just tell somebody about us. And, as we always do, peace, love, hair grease, soul, and deuces.
Email us at 5minutewarning19@gmail.com. And also leave comments on Facebook and Twitch. Search 5 Minute Warning. Contact us on Twitter at AG_FMW Podcast, at Newsman25, at FMW 2019. Contact us on Instagram, Moby 5 Minute Warning, AG_5 Minute Warning, Newsman25. You can listen to the podcast at Apple Podcast, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcast. Thank you for listening. This has been another episode of
The 5 Minute Warning.